We are blessed, and that's why we shouldn't be so angry. There's
people angry?
There's so many people out there in the world that are looking to get others in trouble. There's just people out there, their whole mission is to find a flaw in somebody and then exploit that to the media or go on Twitter, Facebook, and say, oh, this so-and-so happened. And again, that's why I didn't want to be hypocritical because, I said that girl touched my face.
Okay.
And again, whatever. That's not. I was joking like that. I'm not going to report her to the HR.
Yeah.
But there are people that would do that. There would somebody, if I said, how I say offensive jokes on the air and even more so off the air that are really offensive? There are people out there that their sole mission in life is to say, oh, Justin said this. Let's tweet about it. Let's get him fired. And there was a celebrity, a former athlete who's big on television that said something offensive, and a whole bunch of drama went down with this yesterday throughout the Twitterverse and throughout all the media. I have the inside scoop.
Let's talk about it. What's going on? Who is getting the wrath of cancellation?
Well, let me tell you something, Michelle. All these knuckleheads out here talking about me.
That's my Charles Barkley impression.
Oh, yeah. It's Charles Barkley.
Bunch of knuckleheads. Let me tell you what, Michelle.
Wait, okay, so put me on. What happened? What happened on Twitter? What was said? How did everything start off?
In case people don't know who Charles Barkley is, he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Former MVP, Hall of Famer, never won a championship. But he's always been an outspoken individual. Here's a guy, he had a famous commercial in the early 90s saying, I am not a role model. It was like a really awesome, well-done commercial for Nike about how he's not a role model. Your parents should be your role model. I'm an athlete. He always is outspoken. He makes jokes like I make jokes.
Yeah.
A running gag, because he's now an analyst on TNT for their basketball coverage. A running gag is how ugly the women are in San Antonio. And he's been doing this for years at this point. And it's hysterical because it's just...
So all he talks about is how ugly the women are.
Yeah, let me tell you, Shaq, the women in San Antonio are so ugly and fat.
And then Shaq is just always laughing. Everyone laughs. It's just, it's just guys,
Does anyone ever call out any of the women from San Antonio?
Yes, but it's like a harmless thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't mean every woman from San Antonio is ugly. It's just it's just a gag. It's just like a joke. It's just... guy humor that's been going on forever. And he's old school, and he's not going to change for anybody because he's Charles freaking Barkley, one of the best basketball players ever, and he's, in his mid-50s, and you're not going to... he's from Alabama. You're not going to change Charles Barkley. He's the realest guy on television. Never apologizes for anything. Really, really, really fun to watch. He's the reason I enjoy the NBA's coverage on TNT is because of him, Shaq, Kenny, and Ernie. They're it's the best show on television. So, Barkley was being interviewed. I got the whole article right here. He apologized to a reporter Wednesday for what he called an attempted joke. So, he apologized, which is something, like I said, Barkley never does.
Okay.
The joke was, and this was an off-the-record joke, when a reporter asked him about politics. He said, I don't hit women, but if I did, I would hit you. A joke. A harmless joke. A harmless joke that he apologized for, which he doesn't apologize for. It's a joke. Obviously, the thing starts off with, I don't hit women. So he obviously doesn't hit women, but he made a joke, if I did, I would hit you. Laughing nature. Okay. So this lady, her name is reporter, let's see, I got her name. She's a reporter for Axios. I don't know what that is. AXIOS. Reporter Alexi McDammon tweeted about the alleged exchange. She said, just for your information, Charles Barkley told me tonight I don't hit women, but if I did, I would hit you. And then when I objected to that, he told me I couldn't take a joke. She said she had asked Barkley off the record for clarification on which Democratic candidate he supported for president, meaning he's probably a Republican, so which is why he said that. My comment was inappropriate and unacceptable, Barkley said in a statement released by Turner Sports. It was an attempted joke that wasn't funny at all. There's no excuse for it, and I apologize. That's the way society works. If somebody does something wrong and they realize what they did is wrong and they apologize, we should be able to forgive. It's literally written in the Bible that if somebody does something wrong, you can't hold them accountable for life. You can't hold them accountable for life.
Hold on. Now, here's my thing.
Well, it gets even juicier.
Oh, there's more?
Of course there is.
Tell me more. Well,
So
give me all of it.
This is what McCammon said. This is the lady. She tweeted the apology, adding, "The comments Charles Barkley made to me are not acceptable. Threats of violence are a no joke, and no person deserves to be hit or threatened like that." Nobody was hit. He was joking. It was a joke. It'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to punch you." You know, that's what they did on the honeymooners. Bang, zoom, one of these days,
bang,
Alice.
zoom.
You know, it's just a joke. He's an old school guy. It's a joke. He obviously doesn't enjoy abuse of women. Silence only allows the culture of misogyny to fester. And those kinds of comments do not merit off-the-record protections. Okay, so she said that. She won't accept his apology. Now here's where things get super juicy.
Wow. So it goes.
Meanwhile, McCammon on Wednesday received pushback for her critique of Barkley on social media, given her own past tweets.
Oh.
Because people did some snooping on her Twitter to see if she has never said anything offensive.
Because pulling up the receipts.
So if you're going to call somebody out,
make sure you're good.
Make sure you're clean, because nobody in this world is clean. Besides possibly Michelle. There's not an individual here. Have you said, Michelle, I'm sure actually even Michelle, the loveliest girl I know, has said something offensive, whether it's not like, you make an offensive joke, whether it's a racist joke, but you don't really mean it. It's just, it's just the way society goes. That's what, South Park does, Family Guy, The Simpsons. They all push the envelope, but it's not like you actually mean it. If you actually mean these things, then you're a jackass. Everybody can understand that. But if you're just joking about it, that's fine. So I have no problem with this girl's tweets because maybe she was just joking.
Did they get spicy?
They got spicy.
They got spicier?
Read them.
Because, you know what? I think she has every right to make these jokes. But if she's going to start calling people out and not accepting apologies, then screw her. She's a racist. Because here's what she says.
Uh-oh.
This is from September of 2011.
Oh, they were digging.
That was a while ago.
Exactly. Apparently, she does not like the Asian community.
Oh.
So she's now Googling how to not wake up with the swollen Asian eyes. That's one tweet.
Girl.
Here's another one. Give me 2 out of 10 on my chem problem. Cross out all my work and don't explain what I did wrong. Thanks. A lot of stupid Asian TA. You're great.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Then she made a joke about gay people and how they don't have rights. So this person, far worse things, because she thought about this. This was an off-the-cuff joke, off the record, that Barkley thought of.
He tried to go for the slam dunk.
Apologized. And then she went on Twitter asking for her apology to be accepted. She is a clown.
Wait a second.
She went on Twitter. She said, this is her thing. Today, I was reminded of some past insensitive tweets. I am deeply sorry to anyone I offended.
The voice.
I have since deleted those tweets. They do not reflect my views or who I am today, she said.
Oh.
So you don't accept someone's apology, and now you want us to accept your apology?
Right.
You are the biggest joke in the world and everything that is wrong with America. Which I said it is the greatest country in the world, but jackasses like you are ruining it. And you're not letting anybody have fun in the world. I say she should be allowed to make those jokes, but if you want to be this whole high and mighty person, then you can't be calling out Barkley for his stuff. Does it go both ways, sister?
So here's my thing. I feel like the overall cancellation in our cancel culture does ride deep because I feel like it should promote people to think before they speak. A lot of the times we just blah, 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 and we type and we don't think about what we're saying and how that could either reflect how we're seen and how that makes other people feel. So I feel like it's the way that we cancel people is to show, hey, just be careful how you talk and how you express yourself because you are not invincible to get canceled the same way
your
someone
sole
else did.
duty in life should not be to get somebody in trouble. I tell my niece this. She's 4 years old.
Do you tell her not to be a
I say,
tattletale?
do not be a tattletale. That is one of the first things you learn as a kid. Unless, you're being physically abused.
Yeah, like, does she know
I tell her the
what
guidelines.
could
If
and
somebody says a naughty word, you don't tattletale on it, Stella. But if somebody's like grabbing you or doing something with the private parts or anything like that, you tattletale.
You tattletale,
and
right?
that's where this thing needs to end. If somebody says a dirty word or an offensive word, unless it's like directed towards you in a extremely vulgar way,
and it's passionate,
and it's
meaningful.
and it's something that you could tell is not a joke.
Yeah,
sure. If you want to be a pansy, go ahead, report it. But if somebody's making a joke and it's clearly a joke, and they apologize for said joke, you should be able to accept the apology. Because what is the point of getting in trouble? It's to learn from your mistakes. And if you can't learn from the mistake, then how are you going to grow? How is Charles Barkley going to grow if he thinks what I did was wrong and I can't grow from that? He's not going to want to change. He's always going to be that. But
does he want to change? Because he's been calling these San Antonio women ugly for years.
I don't think
so.
You know what? He shouldn't change because it's just again a different generation.
Yeah.
And maybe when these people that are 20, 25 years old grow up and they're 50 and they want to be a different way, by all means. But let's let these people die out. Charles Barkley should have to
go.
He's got 20 years left tops. He doesn't eat healthy. Let him
know this.
Yeah, he's a fat piece of garbage. Charles Barkley.
Wait. God. But I think with that specific joke, it was a little close. It was a little close to the edge with assault, especially in regards to a woman. But to know his history of saying what he says and sticking to it and not apologizing, and for him to acknowledge,
Charles Barkley,
to acknowledge that this time around he's like, you know what, that wasn't it. I should apologize. And then on top of that, sis has her own offensive background.
And she wants to accept our apology.
It's just like
every Asian person,
it's
every Asian person that's ever listening to the show or has seen this tweet of hers should try and cancel her.
Cancel her.
She should
cancel whatever her last name is.
I don't even want to give her the publicity, but she should not be. She should not be able to report for this 2020 election because she's a reporter for politics.
Oh.
So because there's a Democratic candidate. I forget his name, but he is Asian. Why would he want to deal with her?
Oh.
It makes me wonder if she even knew who she was kind of interviewing. You know what I mean?
Is she left or right?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I have not looked into her, but she's just a joke. She's literally everything that's wrong with the world.
So what situations are cancel worthy?
Obviously, when
R. Kelly,
the bad of the bad,
right?
Like
Bill Cosby,
the R. Kellys, the Weinsteins, and again, I would put that on different levels. I put Cosby at the top, R. Kelly right below him, Weinstein a little bit further down, but still really bad.
Further down from R. Kelly, or a little notch down from R. Kelly.
He didn't. From what I remember, he didn't do anything underage. He didn't do any underage people, and he didn't drug people.
Okay, so it's
it was
the
kind
underage that gives R. Kelly the leverage.
And it was kind of like R. Kelly, he used his power to get with women. But he didn't, I don't think he physically held anybody down or drugged them like a Cosby did. It's still obviously bad, but it's not on that level. But then there's guys like Louis C.K., who's a stand-up comedian who, would have women come to his house and then he would, touch himself and while the woman was in the room. But he always asked if it was okay for him to do it. And they always said yes, and he never forced them to do it. And he's been canceled 100% because of this.
Wow!
So he should not be canceled. So it's just and it's a tricky situation. Why do some people get the pass of not being canceled and others don't?
Exactly.
Because a guy like Brett Favre, who's a football player, love him. He's one of my favorite athletes ever. He sent a pic of his to a reporter years ago.
Ooh.
And she was like, I did not want this. I felt this was inappropriate. And he's like this legend that does commercials for like Coppertone and like jeans. I want to see those like Wrangler jean commercials. It's like, why does he not get canceled? Why does James Franco get the pass to continue to make movies when there's multiple accounts of him forcing women to do vulgar things?
I just learned about that in my women's studies class, that he's a professor and like he was doing things with his students and being forceful, and it's really sucky because I liked him a lot.
Franco.
I think a lot of it also depends on politics. I think if you,
a lot,
especially in Hollywood, which completely leans left. Everyone knows this. It's a super democratic place, Hollywood. If you're a Republican and you've done something wrong, there's no coming back from that. I think if you have, some liberal rights and you have been championing women's rights and you support Bernie Sanders, if you do something wrong, I think there is a form of redemption. But if you're like a Bill O'Reilly who got caught doing some sexual things, there's no coming back from that. In the minds of like most media.
Interesting.
Yep.
You make a really good point with that, because it is, why can some people get away with it and some don't? It's such a tricky situation. Who do we choose? It's like we pick and choose. Okay, you did something wrong, but we'll let you get redemption. If you did something wrong, every other
you're
person
done forever.
See, someone like Chris Brown, after Rihanna's
Why
whole
are we
incident,
playing this scumbag
exactly.
on the radio?
I honestly don't even play him whatsoever. If I see him featured in a song, or if I see like his name even pop up, I honestly don't play
That's
it.
crazy, because I listen. Wow,
I beat the crap out of Rihanna. And there's pictures of it.
And I don't understand how he's still making I'm pretty sure he's making a great income right now. He's still making music, obviously.
But that all being said, he did something extremely wrong. We have to learn, and I don't think he's doing this, but if he's willing to change his ways and realize what he did was wrong, and he's asked for forgiveness every day, we can't just say you're banned from the world because he can't grow from that. We could change him. It doesn't mean what he did was wrong, but we can help him be a better person.
Does it matter in regards for him to be canceled if Rihanna forgave him? And like you could see that they have some type of relationship and friendship still.
He needs to make an effort. I don't know. Again, I don't look into Chris Brown, but he needs to donate money to battered wives. He needs to go to groups. He needs, in my eyes, to make his redemption.
In the beginning, like when it first started, he did his community service. He did stuff like that, and I feel like now you'll see them be in the same place together. You'll see, like, there was one Instagram post where she was playing his song in the background of showing off her Fenty Beauty products, and it's like, oh, the gang is here, and her caption, like, they've reconnected after the situation. So I think it's that being in place to say, oh, well, if she can forgive and if she can look past it and reconnect with him, then maybe it's okay for us not to cancel him, versus other artists and other people who don't get that same sense of, all right, you've been forgiven by the person you did wrong, so we'll forgive just because they forgave, So do you guys think it's that type of situation specifically with him, or it's still... It's wishy-washy. Maybe some people can, some people can't, just for the sake of canceling.
As controversial as this might say, it's also a cultural thing, I think.
Yeah.
Like a race issue. I think, because our Chris Brown, I'd say majority of his fans are... does he have a white fan base, or are they mostly black fan base?
I don't really know. I feel like he makes music for R&B. He makes music for pop. He does like a lot of turn up the music, like that type of sound. So I feel like it's very broad, but I would take that the dominant being black culture.
And I think this is a great thing of the black culture. I think they are willing to forgive for certain problems.
Yeah. We ain't forgiving R. Kelly. Like that one. Yeah. That's said and done.
Out the door.
That's a done
He's
one.
Out the door.
Yeah, but that's somebody that actually physically assaulted somebody.
Yeah,
was Chris Brown
with pics.
There's actual pics of it. So it is weird as to who we pick and choose.
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is, if you're going to call somebody out, you better be a saint.
All Are you guys Saints?
No!
That's
That's,
really
why,
not. I would never call anyone out.
100% no.
that's why I'm not calling anybody out, because I'm a piece of garbage like Charles Barkley.
Oh my goodness! Stop.